light right there, and I know what words are. For all like 4 of you who don't know me, my name is Dilyara. This is actually my first time performing like a real set. It came to me a little bit out of nowhere. My friend of a friend of a friend was like, this is for a good cause, you should do it. And I like to put my money, well actually your guys' money, where my mouth is. And my mouth has been on a lot of Ukrainian dudes. Just a couple, I'm kidding. I'm here for a good cause. I started doing stand-up lessons during the pandemic because at some point I realized that actually just smoking weed, crying, and drinking box wine is not a real hobby, no matter how much I tried to convince myself that it was. So I signed up for online lessons, which is kind of a bummer because online stand-up lessons are like, well, lesson 1, stop telling racist jokes. Lesson 2, go be yourself, have fun. And I'm like, that's an oxymoron, that is hard. You can't have one without the other. No worries. They're not against like actual minorities, against white people, which I'm told these days is loud, especially if it's against Russian people, right? No, clearly I'm not going to tell those kind of jokes, but the other day I was talking to an actor comedian friend of mine, and without a hint of irony, he, as a white man, told me that I'm so lucky because as an Asian woman, it would be so much easier for me to get roles than it would be for him because of all of the liberalism these days, you know? Like, oh, please tell me more about your plight, white man. You truly are the most underrated demographic in Hollywood. Whenever will there be another Captain America movie? When? Aside from that, I'm clearly not wanting to talk about race jokes, so I had to fall back on the other old pinnacle, which is cringy sex jokes, and those will have plenty. Mine are all old because I'm actually celibate now. No, cheering, not by choice. By circumstance. So dating in Toronto was a fucking nightmare that I cannot seem to shake myself awake from. For some reason. I broke up with my ex-boyfriend about half a year ago. We were together for 10 months. He was 14 years older than me. He was 40 years old. That's not pertinent to the story, but it kind of is. I know it doesn't sound like, 10 months, whatever. For me, it's a lot. Not just because I'm such a whore, but just because I really hate dating that much. But ever since then, I guess I was in kind of a rut. So one very drunk and horny night lately, I had the brilliant idea that I should just start dating 20-year-olds. I was like, this is a great overcorrection. They're so cute. Gen Z, they're so innocent. They're like so excited about their philosophy degree. Like it's pretty much. That's so great. I'm like, oh honey, you're definitely gonna get a job before you graduate. That's great. Good for you. You pursue your passions in life. Like that's gonna get you anywhere. Adorable. And they still have all the hair on their head, on their back, not really. And most importantly for me, they're not going to get too clingy, they're not going to be texting me too much because they have like exams and shit. Perfect. This is a perfect arrangement. So I signed up for the apps. I matched with this very cute guy. I thought it was going well. We were talking about music. We were talking about musical instruments. And I'm like, yeah, so I played the guitar. And I think I said something along the lines of, well, I play the guitar, my hands are kind of calloused, they're really rough and whatever because of the string. And he says, well, I'm not the only one who has fucked up hands. Whatever do you mean? And he says, well, I thought that it's obvious from my profile, I only have the one. Sure enough, I look at his pictures and there's just one. I just never noticed it. I was so horny. I was like, this is an attractive person. Let's do it. Like, it just never occurred hand so that he could be like, oh, by the way, I just have one. Can you imagine how difficult that is to keep up as a conversation? So like you can just slip it in quietly without people noticing. Like that's impressive also. So I say to him, actually I think that just means you have fucked up hand, duh. And he immediately asked me out. We went on a date. We actually went to a comedy show. It went really great. I thought, it was really cute. I held his one hand. We were getting along great, and nothing happened. But the next day, he texted me and he was like, hey, so I would love to see you again. You're so great. But is it okay if we're friends? And as the older woman in the relationship, I was like, you mean like friends with benefits, right? And he says, maybe friends with benefits down the line. Well, like friends for now, right? Like that's okay. No, motherfucker, it is not! That's not okay! At this point in my life, I've made all of the friends that I will ever have. Most of them are in this room. The numbers from here on out are only going to dwindle, and I'm okay with that. I'm not looking for new ones. I'm just trying to get laid. Show me what that freaky hand will do. What the fuck? I'm pretty sure he blocked me from that. I didn't say it to him in those exact words, but I was kind of paraphrasing. I was just like, no, dude, what the fuck is wrong with Gen Z? Honestly, I was throwing myself at him, and this is what happens? No. Like, I'm a groundhog. Like, I came out, I did not come. I didn't conquer. I've seen Charlie way too much. I'm good. See you next spring. Like, it's okay. I think at least this saves me from like 6 months of my friends being like, oh, well, it's just that your standards are too high. Like, okay, yeah, because who knew that the only thing that was stopping me from finding true love is my inability to fuck ugly people. Not you guys. I have fucked many people in this crowd. At least one. Just kidding, none of them. They're all absent. For obvious reasons. So at what point in the relationship do you guys think it is appropriate to tell the boyfriend that you're pretty sure he only has one testicle? Because it's definitely not the first few times, right? Because you're going hot and heavy. Like, you don't want to ruin the mood. Or, worst of all, what if nobody in his 40 years of life ever told him he only has one ball? Like, you literally changed his worldview forever. That's not a good time, right? It's also not a good time at 6 months because he's like, well, you've seen my dick 100 times. I just told you I loved you over dinner. Are you trying to set it right? Yes, I am. Of course, I'm trying to test this shit. And it did not survive. Why are you telling me this now? Because I think it's funny. And you definitely can't do it 10 months in when you're breaking up with him. Because that's really just rubbing salt in the testicle. And I've been told that that is probably not a pleasant feeling. I can't relate, but I imagine that it's not great. So there's no good time. So I just kept my mouth shut. Because I'm a great girlfriend. Figuratively, not literally, If there was a Yelp page for me, I think it would be like 4.5 stars. Blew me, sent me regularly, never even had to ask for it once. She just did it. Taking off half a star because she broke up with me on her own birthday as a gift to herself. For her coworker, who I was told I did not have to worry about. Some of you know. Some of you know entirely way too much. once, exactly every 3 times on the dot, and she never mentioned my weird balls even once. So 4.5 stars overall.